This will work out well, I think.
It's upcoming now, so if you want to check your audio anytime.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's not your live yet, it's still pending.
Wow. I can see it's come live.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, perfect. Alright. So, you want to send the message and we'll get this kicked off. Welcome everybody to the stream. I'm here with Snoopy. We're going to be commentating our race here at Barcelona.
We sure will be. Just sending the message to the server.
Yep. You let me know when you want me to kick it off. Hopefully they'll put the right tyres on, because that'd be interesting.
Can't say we didn't warn them.
That's right.
Alrighty, so we've got Lobby B tonight in the development series, Barcelona. The guys are hungry to get started. I think we can give them the ping.
Yep.
Starting soon. And over to you to kick things off.
Alright. So the countdown started. And we'll be live. So for anybody who's unaware, we'll be doing a one-shot qualification. Any hot picks?
It's interesting because Lobby B usually has a bit of a mixed bag in terms of their drivers. Some regulars, also some newbies as well. We've got a couple of drivers that were due to make their debut tonight, but it's just the one actually. We've got Red Bearsy who's coming in, so it could be a bit of an outsider threat that they're not aware of. And yeah, also a couple of people have had maybe a week or two off, so who are usually in the likes of Lobby A, but are now in Lobby B due to the point structure, so should still be pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we've definitely got some quick drivers in the Lobby B. We've really got some really good drivers in Lobby A as well that look like they might be promoted for the next season, if they care to.
100%. I think there's been a lot of competition up at the top of the development series leaderboard, which always brings a lot of eyes on it as well. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top and whether anyone's brave enough to volunteer themselves for the Pro Series next season, which isn't too far away, but for the time being, we have, looks like we have all drivers out on track with Ozpat G looking like he'll be the first one to start their flying lap.
In the Mustang, which is the only Mustang we have in the entire GT3 series, actually.
That is correct, actually. Yes, you're right. And then looks like Ozpat G's got a fair bit of room, so he should be able to put a qualifying lap in pretty easily, along with Dace Racer behind them. We do have a bit of a group bunching up behind them from positions 3 through to maybe 7, but it looks like they're giving each other plenty of room, which is good to see. Who should we ride on board with? Who are we looking at?
Well, just based on... maybe we'll jump into some of the traffic and we'll see what happens here with Morgs XR6.
Morg's running the AMG. Solid car choice for this type of track. Good all-rounder.
Yes, it's a very tidy car. Looks fantastic and has great handling. I really do like this car. I used this car during our initial season while we were just gaining some traction with the start of the league. First time I ever used it and really enjoyed it actually.
great all-rounder, one of the most up-to-date GT3 cars in Gran Turismo, which is good to see. But Morg's putting in a bit of a tidy lap at the moment, which is good. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. Looks like Creepy Friendly's catching up to Bearsy a little bit, but Bearsy has a bit of a slide on the Ferrari up ahead, but holds it together, so Creepy might be compromised a little bit here.
Yes, he's going to get that drag, and it's going to be counterproductive for him, as he's going to catch, especially with the legs on this Mazda.
Looks like Dace Racers had a bit of a moment. I'm not sure if they were on their hot lap, but we'll just wait and see as Ozpat finishes their lap. We missed that time. I think Dace Racers actually lost their lap. We may have missed an off there, but
okay.
Atticus comes through with a 142.959 in second.
That's because the time on board with Morgs.
Yep. All the times are coming in too fast to count.
They're all bunched up.
They're all coming in super quick. I definitely think Dace Racer has unfortunately lost his lap there. Looks like he went off and got reset to the track, so that's a 2-minute lap, which is well out of contentions of the pole. However, Anthony, we have an LRC driver lurking at the back in the Ferrari. He's been proven to be quite dangerous in practice,
especially in the qualifying settings. Been quite quick. That Ferrari isn't held back by its shocking tyre wear.
We'll have to see another LRC driver. They're all the way to the top with a 140.289. So what that looks like is Team Leviathan Racing Crew have locked out a 1-2 front row. Well, it's not really a front row, it's more like a front rolling start, but you get the gist.
Yeah, very good.
Team owner will be very happy to see that.
Who's in the chat? So he says hello to everybody. We've also got Bowers in the chat as well. So feel free, guys, to leave a comment. Let us know you're here. We've got 8 viewers at the moment. Give us a like and help out the channel. If you're not subscribed, throw one down.
We'll be keeping an eye on the conversations in the chat. So if there's any questions or any interesting points of note, let us know. We'll do our best to keep our eyes and ears across everything. But that's qualifying done and dusted. Yeah, relatively tidy, except for Dace Racer's a little off there. But again, it's a long race. Sometimes working your way from the back can be beneficial compared to starting at the front and having the pressure on you. So we'll just, have to wait and see.
Yes, so as we wait for the clock to wind down here, it shouldn't be too long. I did change that in the settings to be a bit quicker than the full-time countdown. And I just apologise in advance, guys. I'm a bit sick and a bit nasally, so I might be muting the mic every now and then and have a cough, so you might hear a thump from the microphone every now and then.
All good. Good.
We've already got Senate in the chat there. He's having a watch as well. Don't worry, mate. We'll keep a keen eye on your progress. We expect to see those tyres wear real quick on those softs on that Ferrari.
We expect double duties tonight of racing and text commentating in the live stream chat tonight, Senan, if you're that keen. But no, the good thing about doing these live streams is gives all the drivers a bit of airtime, and obviously with the live streams as well, we have the opportunity to replay those back, so everyone can have a watch in their own time. But I think we should probably check out these qualifying results, eh?
Yes, so now we have at the top, obviously, sentence with LRC. As I take a couple of screenshots, guys, forgive me while I just get those done real quick. Clarkey, another LRC driver in second position, followed by Ozpat in the Mustang, which is really good to see. I really like to see unique cars. I think what you'll find in Lobby A at the minute is a whole lot of Porsches. We might even have a few in this lobby, but definitely a good full of Porsches. Not 100% sure why that is a very popular car. I thought we'd actually see a lot more BMWs and I thought would be I think it'd be more AMGs. So followed by Razmaz in our first Porsche for the lobby, and then the Mazda to round up the top 5. Mazda is got to be one of my favourite GT3 cars. It's just super fast, bit of an unforgiving car on the curbs, but just when you get it right, it's just fantastic. So in the next page, I'll go and have a look at the back runners. From position 9 in Atticus, position 10 the Elder, Red Bearsy, new driver to the series, and Dace Racer rounding up the back end for his, I believe, second race in the series.
Good grid tonight. It's just got an interesting race set up for those that are interested and watching at home. So it's 26 laps around Barcelona. We've got 3 times tyre and fuel wear. 9 litres per second is the refuel rate, so basically 9% of fuel will take a second of time in the pits. And the mandatory compound tonight is the hard tyre, so I think the development drivers we have in the pits at the moment have had the opportunity to pick their starting tyres. I might quickly jump over to check that everyone's all good to go on their end, and then we can come back and get this one started.
Alright, while we wait for Snoopy to return to the chat,
we've had a dropout. Red Bearsy has left the room.
Now, do you want to jump into the chat and find out what's going on with that? I'll
Yep.
wait for your heads up. I'll have a
Perfect.
bit of feedback from engagement from the chat. We've got a few people over.
Be back in a moment.
Hey guys, appreciate you all tuning in. We're just going to find out why we got a bit of a dropout, so bear with us for a moment and we'll kick it off. See, I got a fair few familiar faces in the chat here. GT7 driver, shout out, no worries. I'm actually not sure who GT7 driver. I'm not sure who you are, if you are in the server or not. I'm not sure about your YouTube handle. I'm not sure what you're saying, Shannon, sorry. The Foo, how are you going, mate? Shouldn't you be racing? Oh no, you're racing tomorrow night. What am I talking about? Pro driver, Foo Fighter. Was a development driver, has been promoted with pace, so I think we'll be seeing a few more people rejoining us in the Pro Series out of the Lobby A. The way it's going, there's some really quick drivers, including in Lobby B. There's some quick drivers here that are only in this lobby due to their leaderboard points. So the way that's working is that the lobby is determined by the leaderboard, and just recently we've just changed the drop rounds to be inclusive immediately, so that we're getting a realistic position on the leaderboard, so that we can just get it more closer to your opponents when we are splitting the lobbies up. We are looking for next season to get a few more development drivers in so that we can split the series in half. So we'll eventually have the silver championship and the bronze championship. So the top 16 or maybe 15 drivers, because we need a host, top 15 drivers will be allocated to the silver championship, and we will then, which is irrespective of their driver rating, even if they're a bronze driver, they will still be in the silver championship if we don't have enough silver drivers. So Then we go down to the bronze, and then, depending on numbers again, we will we might have to look at how we divide and conquer there. Hi Snoopy, how are we going, mate? Chuck you an invite to the chat, I'd assume. Thought this was your chat. You should be able to see it. As I've got to scroll for a while here to find Snoopy. So many people on the list. Alright, do we have this driver back in? We do. Alright, so what's the plan with the driver?
We had a disconnect, so we will need to manually set the grid, and yeah, I've given the drivers all the heads up, so they're patiently waiting. So,
okay, so have you got a snapshot of the results and you can read it?
Yes, I do. I do.
Perfect. I'm just going to end the race. Sorry guys, we'll get this ordered as quick as possible. Okay. Alright, so we're going to change this to practice race. Go down to set by host.
Thanks for your patience, guys. We yeah, try to accommodate where we can in terms of disconnects and things like that, and sometimes it means just things run a little bit behind, but it's the joys of playing Gran Turismo. We should get all the drivers to tick in, and then we will set the grid.
I'll just message them to tick in.
Okay, we're just waiting on Dace and Yoey. I'll give him a nudge.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, let's wait for Dace, and then we will jump straight to setting the grid. Or we can set it as it currently stands and then add Dace in at the end.
Alright, so in first place, Senan.
That's correct. Then Clarky.
Clarky. Yes.
Followed by Ozpat, yeah, that's right. Then Razmaz.
Raz. In the Porsche, yep.
Then Creepy Friendly.
Creepy Friendly, where are you? There you are. Yes.
Sideshow.
Sideshow for 6. Yes.
Then 27.
Already there, yep.
Morgs.
Yeah, already there.
Perfect. Atticus.
Done.
Elder.
Done.
Bearsy.
Done.
And then Dace Races in last position, and it looks like he has ticked in. So, if you want to just read it out how...
There. Yep.
Yep, you read it out to me. We'll double check it one last time.
Well, we can check it over on the side panel there. So we've got Senan, Clarky, Ozpat, Raz, Creepy Friendly, Sideshow, 27 Racing, Morgs, Atticus, The Elder, Red Bearsy, Dance Racer.
Done.
So,
alright. Well, the starting soon flag has been dropped, so...
Twice.
just to make sure.
Yes.
Let's crack onto it. Let's get this race going.
Alright. Good luck, everybody. Hopefully everyone's remembered to put their tyres on.
If not, it'll make for an interesting race.
That's right.
Now, who's going to be our car of choice for the start? Who do we reckon? Someone in the middle?
To watch the first turn. Oh, let's go. Alright. I think I really want to sit on board with the Viper.
The Viper of Sideshow, okay.
Right, bang smack in the middle.
Let's have a look at how this goes. And they're off, underway. 26 laps of Barcelona with the pesky hard tyre in the mix. Looks like everyone's...
have we run through, maybe we'll run through the settings again. We do have a compulsory tyre for the Development Series, being the hard tyre.
Yes, so changes from week to week. Tonight's race is the hard tyre, and any experienced Gran Turismo drivers would know that the hard tyre in this track is not a fun combo, so I imagine there will be plenty of different strategies going on. Morgs runs a bit wide at the hairpin, he's off into the gravel. I think that's going to drop him right back to P12, unfortunately. Just did it under his own accord.
Oh, okay.
Might be cold tyres. Cold,
yes.
Hard tyres could be the factor there, but we'll see if the NRG racing driver can get himself back up into contention.
As Sennon's starting to gap the other drivers. I'm not sure what tyre he's running. I'm going to assume he's running the softs, given the pace that he's pulling away. We'll see eventually when he comes into the pits. Followed by Clucky, his teammate, who is followed by Razmaz in a close and tight pack. So there could be a bit of a tyre difference here.
Absolutely, I think you can see those differences in tyre wear coming through, and also different driving styles, but it's nice to see most of the drivers getting through lap 1 quite cleanly. Atticus puts a nice move on the inside of Creepy Friendly into the last turn. Gets it done nice and cleanly. Great to see such a young driver pulling some top attacking moves like that, but now he's got to think defensively down this main straight.
And I think he's already made the mistake of hanging on the left-hand side of the track. Oh, the Mazda didn't have enough. I thought the Mazda would have drove around.
And he makes... Oh, the Mazda goes for a bit of a dive there. Might have just misjudged the braking marker because of the battle happening in front of them, but Atticus is the winner out of that situation. 2 positions in 2 corners.
27's having a nose in, letting Slideshow know that he is there.
Might have put him under a little bit of pressure there. Slideshow running a little bit deep. 27 just keeping on him to let him know that he's there.
So out of the pits comes the Elder in the NSX. So he would have been on the hard tyres, and he will be trying to do a double stint on the softs, I'd assume. So this car must be really nice on the tyres, or he's going to have to look after them. But
100%.
it could be on the mediums.
Clarkey may have run a little bit wide onto that mini back straight, picking up a half-second time penalty. I think Razmaz will be smart to stick close to him and catch him in the penalty zone when he burns that off next lap.
Yes, so Clarkey here might be playing a bit of a smart game here and holding up the rest of the pack, allowing Senham to drive off uninterrupted. But we are racing Lobby A. It is a merged lobby at the end of the day, so these guys are racing the other lobby. So a lot of them would find it wise to not battle too hard if they're got some good pace with the driver adjacent them.
Got a good mix of drivers on hard and soft tyres, so I think this race will really come into its own towards the end, once we see which drivers have thought about which tyres to use at the end of their race. Obviously the Elder right down the back there, but plenty of clean air. Just be setting time trial laps on the soft tyres. Sorry.
Smart move by him, to be honest, to just have some fresh, uninterrupted racing lines.
100%. And as we jump to Clarkey, who's about to serve their penalty, looks like Razmaz should get a pretty much done deal here with that. But whether Ozpat can get through, I think it's going to be a little bit tight for Ozpat to sneak through. He might give it a go.
Clark not going to be there. I think he's going to run into this corner. Even for Razmaz, it's going to be hairy. Razmaz gives plenty of space.
Oh, that was nicely done from both of them.
Yeah, that was some gentleman drivers. That was some nice driving. Good decision to leave the space there by Razmaz.
Got a nice little mid-pack group forming from about P6 down. What's interesting about that is they aren't all on the same compound tyre, so surely you would think that the softer compound runners would move straight through that, but it's not necessarily the case. A lot of long straights, a lot of cars with good power, might make it a little bit difficult to overtake.
Oh, here we go, we've got the Porsches trying to hunt down this Mazda.
As Dace goes on the inside,
Oh.
pulls out a bit, 27, tells him, I don't want to let you through there.
Yes, I think even 27 was going to have a look at the Mazda and then had to change his mind to defend his position. So he made the mistake, it would have been an open door for Dance Racer. I hope I'm saying that right.
Dace Racer, sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Now this track is an absolute punisher on the left hand side of your tyres. Being a clockwise circuit, all that force and all that pressure gets thrown across the car into the left hand side of the tyres, and you can start to see that on a lot of the soft runners at the moment. As Clarky and Raz.
Yes. Sorry to cut you off there, Snoop. Yeah, that's Clarky and Raz really getting really close here. This is battle is going to really open or close the gap for the Mustang here. I'm not sure how the fuel is going for any of these cars and who's pushing harder than who, and the tyres of course, but this is going to be an interesting turn one.
Tell you what, I had to grit my teeth there as they went side by side. Clarky on the rev limiter in 4th gear, which allows Ozpat to jump through from 4th to 3rd, and Clarky going from 2nd to 4th.
Yes.
Looks like he's struggling a bit with the traction, maybe overdriving the car, and he picks up a 1.5 second penalty for his efforts. These track penalties at Barcelona are ruthless and sometimes unfair.
I think he needs to really now just try and have a deep breath, sit behind these drivers for a bit to gain his momentum back and get some of his confidence back after that, and serve his penalty and try and work on just getting that gap back. But to me, it looks like he's actually trying to put the nose on the Mustang here. So
you'd be wise not to. Yeah.
He might be driving a bit cranky here. He wants something back, but I think he needs to just try and look after the car a bit more. Not a but here we go.
All contact pushes Ozpat wide. Ozpat might actually pick up a penalty for that. We'll have to see how he goes.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Yep, that's very unfortunate. We'll leave that deliberating to the steward's room after the race, but a few people just seeing a bit of the red with the red penalty barrier in front of their screens, but still a long way to go. Lap 5 of 26.
So the gaps are starting to form now. We're getting a bit more of a train happening here.
What's interesting with Sennons, running his own race up front, relatively unfazed by the drama unfolding behind him, which is good to see. And I know that from your view, Anthony, as we see Sideshow go into the pits on the hard tyre from lap 5, so he's definitely got a strategy in play there. But as I was saying earlier, Sennon up front running his own time trials, he's pulling a gap but also managing his tyres very well compared to some of the other soft tyre runners. They're hurting, but Sennon in the questionably unfavourable Ferrari in regards to tyre wear seems to have found the magic mix.
Yeah, so this car has had a large improvement from when the game's been released. This car was a highly undrivable car, no one wanted to touch it. We've starting to see more and more of it now, so it's hopefully it's coming back. It is one of the best looking cars in my opinion.
As you were saying that, Clarky has taken back 3rd position from Ozpat with just a clean move. Pat ran a little bit wide into the corner and Clarky just swooped in and Yep, now they've got a nice little gap between them, and it's brought Atticus actually into the mix, which is interesting to see. The Viva Sport driver has been running a nice clean race so far.
In one of my favourite looking liveries.
Yeah, I tend to agree. A lot of thought and effort put into the Viva Sport cars this season, and it's definitely shown on the truck. You can definitely spot them. Atticus comes around onto the main straight, 1.2 seconds behind Ozpat. But we've also got plenty of battle packs, forming behind us. We've got 6th and 7th with Creepy and Dace Racer, and then 8th and 9th with Bearsy and 27. They're all in a nice little battle pack, and meanwhile, the Elder's actually chipping away at them. And he's ahead of Sideshow, so Elder and Sideshow have both pit, yes. And Elder has come out in front, so in terms of the pit, he's got the jump in the pits, yes, that's right.
So it's good to see we get some NSXs in the series. We've got 2. I think the other one is in Lobby A. We don't have any in the pro drivers. We didn't have any at all at the start of the series. I think people just thought it wasn't going to be a competitive car, but to be honest, this car has great top-end speed.
Great potential, great racing legacy. Just a awesome car that suits the Gran Turismo game to a T. Might divert your attention to the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Because Clarky, Ozpat and Atticus are all pretty close together. Razmaz has said, thank you very much, gentlemen. I don't want to be involved in any of these shenanigans, and scooted off in pursuit of Senens. But I think potentially the drivers in 3rd, 4th and 5th, one of them should be considering a stop pretty soon, because it sounds like those left-hand tyres are starting to hurt.
We've got Big Rick in the chat saying g'day boys. Hello to you, sir.
Hello Mr. Big Rig. We've got Tyler commenting on Senen, thinking it's crazy how he's still just a teenager and pulling out these performances. It's really good to see. His lap times have been incredibly consistent, from a 40.6, 40.4, 40.6, 40.7, 40.9. So he's really just focusing on doing what he does best.
So it's actually Foo on that account. Sorry, my mistake.
Wow. Fooey. Welcome, mate. Now, someone's in the pits at the moment. Bearsy actually has a 1.5 second penalty, so may have picked that up somewhere in Sector 3 and has gone onto the medium tyre. And he's crossed the pit line.
Oh no.
That's a 3 seconds on top of that as well. 4.5 seconds of penalty. That's going to hurt.
So I should have pitted off his hard tyres on the mediums?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. I just don't see the mediums lasting to the end of the race, so I'd expect to see another pit. He's really taking care of them.
Now, I don't know if you're seeing this on your screen, but Razmaz is having a bit of a technical moment on track. Maybe his connection is funny, but it could be just my connection. But hopefully he's all good.
Oh yes, I can see it. Hopefully that fixes itself up. Right. Very quickly, because it would be a shame to see him drop out for a technical DNF.
Meanwhile, that was happening. Ozpat, G and Atticus are into the pits. They were both on the soft tyres.
Ozpat a bit better on the fuel.
That's right, yep. Creepy follows suit, so Ozpat picks up the hard tyres. Atticus hangs back a little bit longer and stays on, swaps to hards as well. And Creepy Friendly looks like he'll swap as well.
So Atticus has taken a full load of fuel, which I'm not 100% sure is the right move, especially for the Lexus being that the Lexus is the one that's really good on the fuel, isn't it?
Yeah, at the best of times in a race like this, I think we were expecting fuel to last maybe 15 to 17 laps, so he may have gone in with the intention of seeing this one out to the end, potentially on the hards. Whether that's the right call, we'll have to wait and see.
It'll be very interesting. I'll be very surprised if that is the go. That's why I was a bit confused. They took a full load of fuel on the hard tyre right now, but if he drives those to the end, I'll be very surprised. I think if he does, it's going to cost him all the hard work that he put on early, as he's moving the car around now to try and get some warmth in those tyres.
Everyone's sort of nicely spread out now with some pit stops coming into effect. We do have the Elder and Sideshow pretty close to one another, but they were one of the first two to pit, so slowly but surely Sideshow should get the advantage with the fresher set of tyres. It'll be interesting to see, how they fare towards the middle part of the race.
Yes, exactly. So the Mustang has pitted and stayed out in front, but I believe the Elder has really closed the gap. But we're going to see.
Yes, they have.
But we're going to see the NSX possibly drop off in the next few laps due to wear. I'm assuming he's on the soft tyre. Yes,
the Elder is on the soft tyre, probably about half worn at the moment. Ozpad is on a fresh set of hards, but they're probably about 2 seconds, I would say, slower than the softs, if not even more. And you can see the difference there as Elder just starts to really claw away at him through that sweeping right-hander. So this could be for on-track position here, as Elder makes the move up the inside, two purple cars side by side. We'll see who has the bravest of the breakers, keeping it nice and clean. Perfect.
Well done, guys. This is what we're doing, guys. We're just trying to get everyone in the development series being able to drive side by side, just as we just witnessed. And the driver on the inside leaving enough room for a car to be on the outside. Some real gentleman drivers here.
I too wanted to echo those sentiments, but I was a victim of the commentator's curse last time I was in the commentary box, so I decided to stay very quiet while that all was happening.
All unplayed, yes, I get it.
And while you were just digging your own grave, I was just holding my fingers and toes together to make sure that they've got through that. But we've got some people in the chat. Tyler shouting out Senon. He's one of the first Leviathan Racing Crew drivers promoted out of their own academy, and they have another one on the way. So if that's anything to go by, they'll be heading straight to the pros. And we've got the second big rig, also known as SPE 73, in the chat, so welcome. He'll be hitting the track tomorrow night in the Pro Series. Elder making a move down the main straight, getting the job done again on Ozpat. Sideshow's not too far behind, he's also on the racing soft tyres.
The Viper is another solo GT3 series car. Sideshow having, I guess, some real big balls trying to get this car to be competitive. This was a car that I was going to use for this series. However, after a lot of practice jumping into a car that I haven't driven much of at all, and then lapping faster, just was the nail in the coffin for that car for me. And I joined the team. So I don't see the Viper being, unless there's something happening in the next update that makes this car more competitive. But so one of my favourite cars to look at.
It is a classic car. While you were saying that, we had our leader Senon pop into the pits for a fresh set of soft tyres and some fuel, followed by Razmaz, who is refueling at the moment. Not to a full tank, so there's definitely some strategy at play there. Clarkey has continued on out, so it looks like Raz as well has taken off a fresh pair of softs, so it looks like they will be doing the two-stopper tonight. Senon's got out with a comfortable gap in between Clarkey and Dace Racer, so technically Senin would be on track in P1 as he has done his pit stop. Clarkey would probably want to follow suit this lap, I reckon.
Yes, I think Clarkey will pit before Senin catches him, which is really good timing for Senin.
100%. Got a nice little battle between Dace Racer and 27, so 27
wide there on the.
Whoa,
on the
gets
kick.
a nice. Senin picks up half a second penalty for his troubles, as 27 got around Dace Racer as well. It's just that soft tyre being far superior compared to the hard.
Yep. 27 in a really like that livery as well.
So what's interesting is Senin had about a well over 7-second gap as he pulled into the pits, but as Clarkey pulled into the pits, that gap between them was only about 6 seconds. So Senin's actually probably been chipping away at that by just pitting a lap early, getting fresh tyres on and not pushing it too far, but it'll probably all even out by the time Senin serves his half-second penalty, so all eyes are on Clarkey to see what he does. Looks like he's taken fresh tyres and is getting some fuel.
Let's see how much he takes. Will he take a full load? If he has taken a full load, that is a... Well, actually, I don't know the fuel wear for the Mercedes, but taking a full load of fuel may not have been the great move there.
Not a bad car in terms of fuel. What I would be more concerned about are the cars in front of him. So he's got Sideshow and the Elder, who are two of the earliest pit stop drivers, and essentially Clarkey's battle is with Razmaz in front of them. So he's got two cars in between him and the position he should be jostling for, so it might make things a little bit difficult for him.
So Clarkey started on the soft tyre?
That's correct, yes.
So with a full load of fuel, he's pitted for another set of soft tyres with a full tank of fuel. I just think, yeah, I guess that's about right. Just heavy
car,
load.
you'd lose a bit of that advantage, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now it's really interesting to see how these drivers are all choosing when to pit and stuff like that, because a lot of them are really testing the tyres limits by taking it right down to the last slither of traction, and in about a week's time, or a week and a half's time, that's not going to be possible. So with the new physics update coming through next week, I think the development series drivers will be, and the Pro Series drivers as well, will be fine for next week's round to treat it like normal, but after that might be a whole new ball game from round 7 onwards.
Yes. I wonder what the learning curve will be. I haven't watched anything on the update. I understand there's a video out explaining it, early access, but I haven't had any insights on the learning curve of the new physics.
It was really interesting hearing from Guy Barbara, the Australian representative for the Gran Turismo World Series, talking to the team at GT Planet about the new physics updates, which was essentially dropped on them in their driver briefing only a couple of weeks before the live event, so they could practice their strategies at home, but how the car would feel on the track would only be able to be determined when they were actually in the room at Montreal, and they had about an hour's practice before that manufacturer's cup it into Lagos. But it sounds like cars are generally a bit quicker. I think I recall him saying up to half a second quicker, depending on who's behind the wheel. But where the biggest difference has been is in the tyre wear. So if you push your tyres to that last inch of its life, currently how the game works is you'll have less grip, but you'll still be able to hold on to it, and then as soon as they go completely red, you've lost it all. However, with the new physics update, it's expected that if you even get close to running out, so around 10 or 20% tyre tread left, that's when you'll start to feel the impact. So might change how some drivers approach the rest of their races. But speaking of, we've got some drivers in the pits.
Yeah, so Kaiser's just said that punctures will be a thing, so that just reminds me of the game early on when the tyres would wear out. You essentially would struggle to even get around a lap. And a lot of people complained about it, I feel, which made them revert back to a more drivable physics model. But it sounds like we're going back that way, so I wonder if it will be similar to what the game was like when it first released.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a step in the right direction, to be honest with you. I think if you're, this game can only go to so many levels of detail in terms of like simulation. Graining, tire degradation is a really tough one to get right for any sim racer, so having a clear-cut picture of losing all your grip close to the end of the tire's life is probably the right move to make.
Yeah. So in third place we've got Razmaz, who is trying to make the moves on Dace. I think he wants to get this done pretty quickly. He was setting his fastest splits, and what great timing for him as Dace has jumped into the pits.
So you'd be thinking that Dace would pick up some fuel and a soft set of tyres, so this will be really interesting because Dace started at the back of the pack, but I don't think he's completely out of contention. He might not finish on the podium, but he might put in a good stint.
Sideshow's back in there, also picking up a 1.5 second penalty in the Viper.
Atticus is still running on those hards and has picked up a 1.5 second penalty.
As he flashes his lights coming past the line.
In frustration, it looked like it was fine. He may have just run a little bit wide on that entry into the final turn of the track. But yeah, looks like he might be going all the way to the end. He's got enough fuel, I would say. He's got well over 50%. But I feel like at the same time while all this is happening, Sennen with a 27.7 second lead to Raz. That is absurd.
Yes, so this driver obviously hasn't done the first few races. Theoretically, based on pace, should be in the Lobby A.
Well, the pros at this pace, put him in the pros.
Send him there.
Put him to the pros.
It's more of a team strategy, I think, at this stage, being that we only have limited pro drivers in any team.
And it's working out well for the team owner over at Leviathan. Obviously, we've got Tyler in the chat here. He's got 2 of his drivers running in the development series. So, out of the 2 drivers, the best performing driver will score the points tonight because Tyler will be representing in the pros.
Correct.
So it sort of gives them a little bit more spread of the field, more drivers on the track, more knowledge of strategies,
right,
advantages and things like that. So it should be a strong round for the team all over. But hate to say it, but first, second and third have daylights of distance between them. But meanwhile, Creepy, Dace, Atticus now has a 3-second time penalty. So that's new. That's on top of the 1.5.
I feel like now he's going to be getting a bit frustrated, and at this point in the race, this is where Atticus tends to drop off the consistency, whether it's distraction or just, I guess, just the frustration of mistakes that he's making throughout the evening's race. But hopefully he can serve this penalty, reset, and just try and drive to the end. Based on tyre and fuel, is he driving to the end on a hards here, or do you think he'll be pitting again?
It's hard to say at the moment. I think he might need to be just aware of the fuel that he's burning through. He's got about maybe 48%, 47% left, and we're expecting around maybe 13 to 15 laps, and he did pit a bit early, so we'll have to wait and see. It might be a close one.
Looks like Morgs is recovering well from his early mistake on lap 1. But based on the pace of Senna, my only concern is I'd really like to get majority of the cars finishing a full race rather than being laps, just for comparison. One of the issues of split lobbies with drivers coming in late based on the leaderboard, as we see Atticus in the distance there, going to pick up another penalty. Will it be, or will he be lucky? Looks like he's going to get away with that. As Morgs sets himself up for the move and bumps the rear of Atticus, giving him the bump. That's not going to help. An
accidental bump draft.
That's it. It's not going to help you making the manoeuvre.
Just giving him the little bit of the hurry up, probably accidentally, not on purpose. Morgs is on the soft tyre, so he should be able to get this done, and this will be for position because it looks like with Morgs' tyre and fuel, he's able to go to the end as he makes no big deal about it, pops it up the inside, has the superior grip levels, but Atticus still holding on around the outside.
Atticus fighting, he's going to block, here we go, come on.
Oh, Morgs holding on just to barely keep it off those track edge there.
So looks like Morgs should play it smart here and just possibly wait for the run to the hairpin, but Atticus is really dragging the chain here.
Oh, Clarkey had a big moment on the last turn, almost ended up into the pit lane entry involuntarily. Sorry to cut you off there, I just switched over to him to see how he was travelling, but he seems to have held it together, so we can jump back to Atticus, who's again side by side with Morgs.
Morgs going from the outside overtake and then through the cutting, and he's looking great to now just drive off. I think he needs to get a bit of distance because I think Atticus still thinks he's racing this guy on the hard compound, so Morgs wise to move on.
Atticus is coming into the pits.
That is shocking to me.
That is an interesting strategy call there. Obviously has to be onto the soft compound tyre, but you couldn't help but think what other opportunities there would have been if if the race played itself out in a different manner.
Yeah. So where's Stannon placed on the track here? It's like lapping. Yeah, we're going to see some lapping happening now. Really early on in the race, if I'm honest. That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see how it plays out for him. So Atticus now down in P12, and Creepy's actually just done his own pit stop, so he's on fresh softs. He's not stopping again. So
where's Creepy in relation to Sennan on track position?
Creepy's 11th. Sennan is 1st. It looks like Sennan has already overtaken Creepy.
Okay.
So Creepy and Atticus are a lap down, and Sennan is coming up fast on Ozpat,
who was at one stage in 4th position.
Yes, it looks like Ozpat will go to the end, so it's a matter of who will pit in front of him.
Yes. And then the other driver in the other Ferrari driver, Red Bears? Yeah. Do you think he's going to make it to the end?
Definitely not. I think based on Atticus's fuel and when he pit, I don't think Bearsy will make it to the end, but not sure if Bearsy has has taken the time to really flesh out a bit of a plan for this race, because he is on the medium tyres along with Ozpat behind him, but Ozpat has more fuel, so Ozpat probably knew that the medium tyres do last longer, but you need to make sure the fuel's there to do so, whereas Red Bearsy has less fuel, so you couldn't help but think maybe the soft would have been the better choice on this stint, make it a sprint stint rather than a longevity one.
Yeah. Ferrari's very quick on this circuit, there's no doubt about it. Let's see how the Mustang goes trying to get this pass done, as it seems that Red Bears is actually driving defensive. There is quite a bit of a gap as Ozpat picks up the blue flag. So we will see approaching in the distance Senna shortly, but let's see how that plays out with this little battle that's going on here.
I think Senan should stay well out of their way. He may even dive into the pits very quickly before he gets to them, if that's the move he's thinking of.
I'm
but
actually just trying to watch the movements here of the Ferrari on the defensive here to see how the driving goes here, because we do see some interesting defense moves in the development series, which we do try and work on with the guys. So being new to the league, would be interesting to see how
Ozpat
taking the dirt
copping the 2-second time penalty
as well. Oh no, that's a big one too. Alright, here we go. So we've got a bit of a defensive move here, even though he doesn't technically really need to. And he moves back over. That's not a bad. It goes in shallow and brings it back out, just to let Ozpat know that he will be defending the corner. I just think that the pace difference might be working in the Mustang's favour here, but he will be serving that penalty, and this might just work out in favour of Senan, to be honest. Rather than having to fight two cars at one time, he's just going to have to get past Ozpat in the penalty zone and then just have to get by Red Bearsy. So we'll see if the guys move out of the way.
Yes, I was very aware of holding back my comments during this blue flag period. It's always tricky to navigate, but I think Ozpat's penalty helps the situation a little bit, at least for one of the cars. Hopefully he stays over to the left as per the driver briefing. Perfect.
He does. Perfect.
Senan goes through with no hassle, and judging on Senan's tyres, I would say he would be considering a stop soon. But it's whether Raz has to stop as well. It's always interesting when you're out that far ahead, you think things are pretty cruisy, but you just don't know what's happening behind you.
So Senan's staying out. He is giving the Ferrari driver a flash, which possibly may have thrown him off a bit, to be honest.
Now Creepy's steaming down the main straight, put half a second, just absolutely pulling. I don't think he'll get to Bearsy in time, but I'm interested in sharing an opinion on how this race would turn out. Now Senan is in front, 30 seconds, comfortable gap, but the tyres are hurting. So yes, you don't want to be on the hard tyre more than what you need to, right? But
yes.
At what point do you call it a day on the worn softs because you're losing too much time and then switch to the hards? That's what you have to battle with in your head.
Senan still looks like, if the game isn't playing silly buggers with me, he's still doing a 142. If he goes into the hard tyres, I'm going to say that he's going to be doing mid 43s to 44s. So he's still on the optimal tyre as far as that's concerned, in my opinion. But at this stage, he's starting to get into the lapped car territory. He's been very lucky so far. It hasn't affected him. So does he push the extra two, 3 laps here? I don't know if he's going to make that far, but
I think if he does, he will be riding on the rim of the car potentially.
Yep. He's staying in for another one.
He's going around again. I will reserve my commentary to avoid any future commentator's curse, but irrespective, that would have been an interesting outcome if Raz was on a different strategy to him. But I believe from memory, Razmaz and Clarkey, who are in P2 and P3 respectively, have followed suit with Senan in terms of they started on softs, they've picked up a fresh set of softs, so the top 3 actually all have to get a hard tyre at some point.
Okay. So what about Des Racer? Are we aware of what strategy he's been doing? Because he's not actually that far. If the guys in front are pitting, well, from Clarkey.
I don't recall if Dace has pitted for hards, but he could easily finish this race with his current tyres and fuel. But we do have some breaking news from P1. Senan has what we will call in a few weeks a front left puncture. There is nothing left.
Yep.
He can still hold it together because the physics model currently still makes it possible, but it's very difficult to drive, as you can see him running wide.
I feel like even with the puncture tyre or fully worn tyre, he's going to be lapping faster than he would on the hards, especially with the Ferrari.
Now, interestingly, 27 did an excellent job of adhering to blue flags, but he might find him on the rear bumper of Senan pretty quickly because he's got fresh tyres at 27, whereas Senan has indicated to the right to come in. Very sensible thing to do, to put your indicator on just to let the car behind you know.
Did he cross the line? Did he cross the line? That's on my screen.
We will wait and see.
Not that I think it's going to affect him too much, to be honest.
Look good to me, but we will see.
As the rest of the pack unlap themselves.
Yes, Razmaz is coming around that old chicane area. I think he will also come into the pit, so he's picking up the hard tyres to finish this one out as well. And I don't imagine Clarkey would be doing anything different.
Alright, so the Ferrari's come out with hard tyres and 22% on fuel. Razmaz also is pitting, exact same strategy. He doesn't have to take as much fuel, it's not going to help him, he's not catching. And Clarkey has also dived into the pits. Senan has not picked up the penalty, so it just looked like it was a bit of a bug from my perspective.
Now all Senan needs to do is just keep it pointed in the right direction all the way to the end, and this will be his provisional win. Obviously we'll merge the times of the lobby towards the end. Now, where things start to get interesting is that Dace Racer, who started right down the back in 12th, is now in P3. Admittedly with a half-second time penalty, but
big gap.
If that's his tyre to the finish and he's already done the hard compound, which apologies, I don't recall if he has or hasn't.
Oh, okay.
That could be a sensational result for Dace Racer.
As he just goes blue on that sector. Sector 1. As he hunts down second place, but he will serve his penalty. Now, as we saw before, having a half-second penalty isn't really that it doesn't have too much impact. So we might actually see some action towards the end. No, not really. It's a big gap to Razmaz for only essentially what is a lap and a half.
What's been interesting tonight is just the variety of battles that have played out. So you've had Razmaz and Clarkey at the start, which have now spaced out quite a lot, which has brought Dace Racer into the mix. Morgs has been running a fantastic race, just running his own pace in P5, holding his own there. Sideshow and the Elder have been going hammer and tong since about lap 5 when they pitted on the hards, and it looks like they'll go all the way to the end.
Morgs has really worked on that gap, by the way. Do you mind just giving us a bit of insight into Clarkey's fuel? Kaiser has mentioned in the chat that he seems to have taken on more fuel than he's needed to, which I think is going to be the...
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. Clarkey's got about 25% fuel, or just under maybe 23%, which is more than enough for a lap. So as he starts the final lap, and Morgs behind him has a little bit less, but no one's flashing red at the moment, so they should be all okay. But it's all moving so very, very quickly because we actually have Senan passing through the penalty zone into Sector 3, and he's on the last lap. This will be a provisional win for him.
So we might actually see if he doesn't make the pass here, we might see all the cars finish, which would be awesome.
Awesome for the admins. Awesome for the spectators.
Awesome for my the amount of work that I have to put in after the race. That way.
He comes around, final turn, couple of penalties here and there, no big deal. He knows he's done the job. Crosses the line, P1.
Across the line.
Well done, Senan.
Sorry guys, I was
But
distracted.
danger bells. Dace Racer's actually going to the end, and he's pulling down that gap on Raz, so this will be tight.
Yes, he's got
And
under a second.
Raz is on the hards, Dace is on the softs.
He'll be feeling the pressure here, and he knows he's going to be running for the finish line. Let's see if he can hold his composure. Oh, that is so close. Well done, boys.
That is a close one. Dace Racer from 12th to 3rd. Excellent result. Well done, Raz.
Morg has also put the heat on Clarkey. Same positions.
Interesting, because Clarkey's also on the hards, and Morgs is on the soft.
It's just different
It's all coming to the end. And then we've got another double battle pack behind it with Sideshow and the Elder coming through. So Clarkey 4th, Morgs 5th. Sideshow with the Viper coming through in 6th. Followed by the Elder and the NSX. Well done, boys, with the alternate strategy pitting early. And then we've actually got 2 more double battle packs coming through here. Again with the hard and the soft combination between the 2 drivers, but it looks like 27 will get it done for P8, followed by Creepy Friendly for P9. Atticus runs wide on the last turn. No! He should be able to hold on to that. He does. He holds on to P11 with Ozpat not too far behind.
Well, that was
that all happened so quickly towards the end there. We were just sitting there in the middle, just having a nice cup of tea, watching everyone with a beautiful gap between them. And then within the last 2 laps, everyone stacked on top of each other. It was really good to see.
So what have we got? Has the results been posted for the first race?
They sure have, and I can have a quick squiz to see where our provisional driver ended up in comparison to Lobby A. So just a reminder for everyone watching at home that we run 2 lobbies when we have over 16 drivers.
Yep.
So it appears that, just trying to drag it out for anticipation purposes, because the screenshots...
I'll just mention before you say anything that Senan's overall time is faster than anyone did in the main lobby in the practice session last night. Well,
if that's anything to go by, I can...
His teammate Kaizen, yeah.
Barring any penalties, it looks like Senan with a 45 minutes 5 seconds .262 has taken out overall P1 across Lobby A and Lobby B, as the fastest time in Lobby A, was 45 minutes, 18 seconds and 7 tenths. So well done, Senan. Consolidated P1 across both Lobby A and Lobby B, but we will have a look at all the results after that and the replays. I might say ciao for now and jump back into the party chat with the drivers, do a bit of a debrief, and leave you to run through the results.
Thank you very much, Stu. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks for everyone who's tuned in. So, well done, Lobby B, being the fastest lobby of the evening. That's always good to see. I think everyone's put in a great effort. There are some big time splits here. So obviously we're going to see the Lobby A guys fill in those gaps. But it'll be interesting to see. The person I'm most interested to see is the Elder, where he lands overall, because I feel like he put in a really great effort tonight. His strategy, pitting early, getting the open air, really just showed a great move. I actually thought I'd see some more of that happening. Maybe his car just can do it. So obviously different cars have different strengths, but very, very good drive from the Elder. Senan's time for fastest lap, astonishing, very, very fast. If I didn't see Kaizen there chatting away in the stream there, I would assume he was driving the bloody car. That's how fast Sennon's driving. So well done to him. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll get those results posted as soon as possible. I'll try and get them up tonight. Just depends how I go. Otherwise, it will be by midday tomorrow. And anybody who's watching the stream that isn't in the Discord, you can see the link in possibly the description of the video or on the YouTube profile. So once again, guys, thank you, appreciate yous, and see you in the next one.